Hi y'all. All right. So hopefully this video works. I'm going to make sort of a take on the dense bean salad, but I'm not going to use 2 cans of beans. That is a whole lot of fiber when we've got the beans, the artichokes, the cucumber, the tomato. We get so many things that it's going to be like a lot of carbs and a lot of fiber. So what I've got is 1 pound of chicken breast that I air fried, 1 can of garbanzo beans, 1 can of artichoke hearts, about 5 or 6 small cucumbers, and about half of a red onion, a pint of grape tomatoes, some Kalamata olives, I've got this kind, and then some parsley. And that's going to make it the base or the main part of the salad. And the seasonings is just generic salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, whatever you want. Throw on some oregano. Okay. And then 1 can of the beans, 1 can of the artichoke hearts chopped. And some of the tougher pieces I threw out. I didn't keep the really tough ones. And then the onion and the cucumber. I'm going to try to make this into 4 servings. We'll just see how big they end up being. If it ends up being too much for me to eat, I'll have to make it into 5. And then I'll have to get probably a little bit more protein. Let's see. There is some protein here, just not as much. Okay, I think there'll be enough protein if I make it into 5 servings instead of 4. I cooked the chicken today, and according to some sort of, I don't know, some research I did, cooked chicken is good for 7 days, counting the day that you cooked it. But you do what you feel comfortable doing. I didn't do a whole lot of olives. I'm not technically calorie counting. However, olives are very calorie dense. 4 olives is 35 calories and 3.5 grams of fat, but no carbs. You could add more if you want, but when I added up the calories just to kind of look at the calories and the protein and everything, with the salad dressing, it's like well over 2,000 calories. So I just did what I felt comfortable with. I might add more olives. I think it's just going to kind of depend on how this ends up tasting. I do love olives. I'm a big olive lover. And then the tomatoes. Now you can add more or less of whatever you want. These are things that I will actually eat. If I prepped a salad that had raw bell pepper in it, I'm probably not going to eat it. I don't like raw bell pepper. So you add what you would want to eat to your salad, because again, these are things that I will actually eat. If I'm going to have to come home and scarf down some sort of raw carrot or celery or bell pepper, I'm not going to eat it. So you change this up to however you need it. I'm going to try to eyeball about more than half of this. There's 6 servings in here. That looks about good. If you really want to track your macros like really, really good, then definitely, I definitely wouldn't eyeball it, and I wouldn't measure too much. I would do more weighing instead of by like this, because by weight, you're going to get more accurate numbers. So this is the base of the salad. Again, for it to be, I think, a true dense bean salad, you need like 2 cans of beans. And if you are starting to incorporate more fiber, I would go slow, because that's going to be a lot. And I already have such a sensitive, weird stomach. I can't overdo some things like this, like certain protein powders. I can't do, what is it? I think you can do some of the triple zero yogurts, but I can't do like the higher protein ones. I definitely can't do certain protein powders. Other protein, nope, I can't do it. So I really have to focus and get my protein in like this. It looks really good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of happy with how beautiful this looks, all the colors. Okay, so one of the dressings I found called for a 1/2 cup of olive oil. A half a cup of olive oil is like 1,000 calories. It's 900 and something. Oh, where's my knife? I need my knife. I don't even know where it is. So I'm going to lighten the olive oil. Again, I'm not calorie counting. However, I don't want to go crazy with the olives and the olive oil because those are high numbers. Okay, so the first one, I use the zest for my blueberry cheesecake. I don't know what it's called. So I zested the lemon for that. And now I'm going to use the lemon juice for part of the dressing. If you want to make something like this and you really want to, excuse me, pre-make the dressing and like get it all, whatever the words I'm looking for, pushed together, mixed together very well, feel free. I feel like it's going to mix just fine. Maybe tossing it here. And again, if you don't like lemons, you know, just use whatever. My daughter is on a very strict diet for some issues she's having. She can have no citrus. So if you can't have citrus, definitely leave it out. Splashing myself. It's a very juicy lemon. Okay. And then we're going to do a 1/4 cup of olive oil instead of a half. If you feel like, you know, you can add more, you can add less, you could do avocado oil, you can do whatever. This is what I have here at the house. And I feel like a 1/4 cup is going to be enough with everything else I add. Now I'm going to eyeball these other 2 parts, but they aren't very high in calories or whatever, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I've got red wine vinegar. I'm going to aim for about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. Taste, adjust. Don't over season because you can't take it out. So like last week when I made the chicken with the butter beans and I used red wine vinegar and Dijon as my, I guess, dressing for the, it's only a salad, but whatever you want to call that. I've added more both times I made it, but you can't take it away. So you keep that in mind. So I've got the olive oil, the lemon, the red wine vinegar, and the Dijon mustard. Lots of recipes I saw added sweetener. If you feel like you want the sweetener added, add it to it. I have no idea if I'm going to want sweetener to this. And I haven't added any salt or pepper to the salad. I did season my chicken in the air fryer, but I did not season this. I feel like I want to season it the day of when I eat these because I don't know, as it marinates, the flavors might, I don't know, get more intense. And then the feta is going to have some salt to it. The olives have some salt to it. But that is it. I'm going to, so you have a couple of options. If you really are counting, what I would do is I would do everything individually in its containers by weight. If you are somewhat counting, mostly like me, my main goal is not to go crazy with calories and make sure I'm getting in protein and fiber. And so I kind of have macroed the whole bowl. And then I really think I'm going to have to divide this by 5 and not 4. My goal was 4 servings, but I guess I'll see when I start dividing it up if it needs to be 4. Another thing I might do is take my containers, put it on my scale, zero it out, and then divide it evenly. So okay, I hope this makes sense. I'm going to take my container, so this is my container. They're all the same. Zero out my scale with the container on the scale, put some of this in, get the next container, it's already zeroed out until I get approximately the same amount in each container. And so for the whole week, this will be divided evenly. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But this will be mostly either my after workout meal. I mean, it could be breakfast if I wanted it, or my afternoon snack. But this will be a lot of food for an afternoon snack. And again, if you're not a volume eater like me, and this does look like a lot of food, you could easily cut back. I haven't made this like this, So I was thinking it's going to be perfect. That'll give me Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to clean my grandmother's on Tuesday. But now this is a lot, so I'm going to have to kind of figure out how I'm going to make this fit my week. But I think it looks beautiful, and I hope it tastes as good as it looks. I'm going to clean up, and I'll be back with another video in just a minute. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to comment. I'm open to some suggestions on I should add something else in here, or take something away, or some more ideas for dressing or seasonings. But that is it. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Bye.